morning.
Good morning.
Hello.
Hi.
Guys, you're good? Thank you.
All right. Welcome, people, to the Village District of Eidelweiss Commissioners Meeting on August 20th. It's 9 a.m. Call the meeting to order. And the first thing on the agenda is approval of the agenda. Make a motion, we approve the agenda.
I'll second that.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Everything looks good.
Aye.
Aye, yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, then we got the minutes of August 13th.
Correct.
It had a couple of spots where it says Grimsell, but it doesn't have the number.
Do you want the number?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that was all I had.
Okay.
Did you have anything?
No, I don't think so. Let me just, there's one thing I was reading last night. It does make sense. When I first read it, I thought it didn't read right, but let me get it, I think. Yeah, I'm good with it, yep.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
You gonna vote?
So,
Good morning, Dinah.
Good morning.
Good morning.
aye on approving the minutes.
Absolutely, aye.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Then next we have the operations and payroll manifest.
Correct.
In the amount of $6,846 and 76 cents.
Yep, it's a low one this week.
You get a chance to look at them all?
Yeah, just re-reviewing everything.
Okay.
Okay. All right, I'm good.
Okay.
All right.
2-0.
So, aye.
Aye.
All right.
Thank you.
And then there's the water project for 4,500.
Yeah.
That is the last of Dawson.
Correct.
Correct.
Okay. Have we already made that check?
So I voided that original check.
Oh, okay.
Because it was coming out of the water, and Dinah she was the only one that seemed to know that we were making payments out of this water project
Account.
2020 account, because we're looking to minimize it, to do away with it, so.
Right, but that was one reason. The other reason was the project was not fully complete. We needed Dawson to
Correct.
put in the ladder.
Yeah.
And then we discovered later that they never bolted down
Fixed
the
the
hatch
bolts.
to the PRV
Yep.
pit. And then there turned out to be a leak on one of the PRV valves, and they still are required to give us the as-bills.
Yeah.
As of yesterday, all of those items were completed.
Yes.
So I said, thank you, Dana, and that we would bring that up on this week's manifest.
Yep.
Approve it, and actually I thought it'd be next week's manifest, so.
Yeah. Right.
You know, it's always nice to
Get it in.
come in above expectations, because
Yes.
I told them payment would be next week, but it'll be this week, which will
That'll make them
Beautiful.
smile.
make them happy.
Yep.
All right, great.
All right.
And voting?
Aye.
Aye.
Great.
Okay, and nothing else on the water.
Yeah, just a deposit.
Okay.
That's it.
So next is the DPW. Jeff is on vacation this week.
Yeah.
Um,
I can't speak to any of the items listed. Not sure if any of you two can.
Yeah, I don't know if that PRV pit on Jungfrau, I'll take a look at it after the meeting.
Okay.
Esplund was, I believe, Jeff was gonna contact them.
Correct.
yes.
This is regarding all the tree stumps and all
Yep.
that still around.
Yes.
The fuel log was, as I recall last week, was we were gonna try and find a template and reenact it, or not reenact it, but reinstitute it.
Yes.
Right.
Okay. And then this new one, this is new to me, transfer cell phone number from the old foreman's phone to
Yeah. I believe
the
only
new
Jeff
foreman
and Mark
or
can
get a new
speak.
phone.
Yeah,
I know the problem.
yep.
Jeff never complains, but Tony,
No.
Tony voiced his opinion that often it's difficult to get through to Jeff when he really needs him because of his existing phone. It's old, it's wonky, it doesn't always work.
I can't even reach him from the office.
Right, I've tried to call him several times and it's a hit or miss. Sometimes
Yeah.
it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Yep. Okay, great.
So I think this is a discussion for another time that,
Well, we actually have already made a motion, a couple of, gotta be a month ago, maybe more, that
Oh,
we were
yeah,
going to
definitely.
transfer the cell phones to Spectrum and move away from Verizon.
okay, I was thinking that, which is good. I was thinking more along the lines of, let's make sure we either get them a new cell phone, or if the cell phone from the prior foreman is still really good, yeah, let's get it over to the new foreman with a new,
They're the same,
same models.
same model, same year. So I would expect they would both need to be replaced.
Okay, then I would like to make a motion that we replace those phones with a cost not to exceed, what's a good number for a decent cell phone these days? $700?
Good luck.
Well,
Good luck.
sometimes you can get a free phone.
Right.
Depends on the plan. So this is gonna,
Okay,
Require
I'm gonna
research.
I'm gonna
Right.
rescind that motion. Let's do a little bit more.
Yeah.
I'll take that for an action item.
That would be great.
I will contact Spectrum and find out what their plans are
right,
Right,
in terms of
Right.
phones, phone models. When Jeff gets back from vacation, I'll find out what sort of phone model he thinks would work best for him. I'll talk to Tony too.
right. And
You
we
know,
want to
it
transfer the phone numbers.
doesn't need to be
Yes.
the latest iPhone or anything super fancy. It just
Yeah,
needs to
no.
be reliable. But I do think it has to have a good camera on it. It's critical that those guys have good
I'm
cameras
sure
for
he
what
would
we were
agree with that
discussing
as well.
Oh, yeah.
last week.
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay, I'll take that for an action item.
okay,
Thank you.
that'd be great. All right, so the next thing on the agenda is public appearances.
Yep,
Are you Peter?
Yes.
Ah,
a little bit
okay.
earlier
Little
than we anticipated.
Well, I'm
You
glad.
guys run a tight ship. I'm glad I came early.
Me too.
It's not always this
I'd
tight.
have shown up at 9:30 to go off the
Yeah.
coffee already.
Because typically, we would have made you wait.
Yeah, okay. All right, so am I up then?
Yep.
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
So I'm here representing the Big P Porridge Watershed Preservation Association. Just bringing you up to speed of where we're at since the last time I was before the board. I don't know, I think you might have been on the board, but I don't know as you were last
No.
time. We were here a couple of years ago,
Wasn't me.
but wasn't you? Okay,
We're
so
both
at that
brand
point, we were in the process of, our task is trying to reduce the siltation coming into Big P Porridge.
Mm-hmm.
And at the, it's predominantly coming down from Rock House.
Mm-hmm.
What we're up against is, yes, it's coming down from Rock House, which is in Conway, but the Big P is predominantly in Madison, also a part of Eidelweiss. I mean, it's like, oh my God, there's a confluence of events here.
Yeah.
So at the time, we wanted to try to apply for some 319 funding and grant funding from the DES. And in order to do that, the first step in that process was to get a watershed management plan. And to do that, we had to apply for a grant to pay for that, which we did apply for with a letter of support that came from this board as well as Madison, Conway, and Rock House. So we got that grant, and we had FB Environmental has developed a watershed management plan that is almost finalized. So with this, we will take this and hopefully letters from the boards that I just mentioned, you guys, Madison, Conway, and Rock House, letters of commitment, which means that you guys are committed to working with us on this project. And with that, we're going to apply for, I think we're going to try to apply for a $200,000 grant. With that money, we're going to use that to implement the things that they've got in this watershed plan. And what we're going to concentrate on is the area, Town Line Road, Brenner, Eidelweiss Drive, that whole quadrant is kind of what we're looking at. And I'll just give you a brief synopsis of why we're doing this, so you can kind of be horrified like the rest of us. This picture was taken, probably 2 or 3 years ago after a rain event. And this is the siltation that's flowing into the pond from the wetland that we own.
That's by Ragged Cove, right?
Ragged Cove. So that's what it looks like when it's coming in. I don't know if I need to show that
Yeah,
to you or
sure.
not, but no, yes, no.
Yeah.
God, you look familiar. Yes, you're one of my throwers.
I'm the twin.
You're the twin.
Oh, wild.
Oh.
Okay, you're not one of the throwers.
Yes.
But you do look familiar.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
That
So
could be the
that's
twin thing.
kind of where that was, and then in January 31st, July 31st this year, which a few weeks ago,
Yeah.
we had 1.5 inches of rain in about an hour.
Yeah.
And these are the events that cause us the problem.
Yep.
This is what it looked like coming into the pond
Oh.
that day.
Just imagine.
Yeah, I've seen another picture of it. This is even better one, at least it's from a more.
So the reason I'm showing you this,
Yeah.
I mean, I got a worse look than that, but
Yep.
the reason I wanted to show you this, there it is there. Okay, see that? So Conway did a bunch of work up on MODOK, as you're all aware. Way over the top of what we're looking to do. We're looking for more like ditch work, armoring ditches, check dams, and being able to clean them and that kind of stuff. They put in, you know, everything to pave with curbing and everything.
Yeah.
So basically, what would happen? You saw that first picture. The whole cove would sediment. Their water, so the Rock House water is coming down the hillside like this, Town Line Road, Brenner, and all that. It's coming down this way. It gets into the wetland, and the wetland has like 3 tributaries coming across it, all held back by a 5-foot tall beaver dam. Thank God, it does most of the work. Okay, but the work that Conway did, that water is traveling down this side, comes across Allard Hill and travels down this side of the wetland, and you can see how well filtered that is at this point by what they did.
Yeah.
So what we're hoping to do is, by working on the section I just talked about, we can kind of stop this from happening.
I see.
So that's the basic plan.
Yep.
That's why we're here. We're looking to get a letter of commitment. So I don't want to bore you with details, but I do have a copy of the letter, that very simple letter that we're looking for, that we can put with our package. So if we get awarded, if we apply for this grant, the pre-proposals are due in September 10th, I believe. If we get through that process, they usually, DES likes to fund 5 or 8 projects, and they have like a $500,000 budget they're working with. We're going for a pretty big chunk of that, but they've recommended that we do that based on what we're up against. So
Right.
we're gonna hopefully pursue that, hopefully get through the first phase. If we do, we have to put our final submission in December, and then they make the determination of what grant is awarded. Money would be coming in probably April of next year that we can use to, you know, check dams, like I said, maybe narrow up the roads a little, recrown them, better ditches, armored ditches, check dams that can be cleaned, and that whole thing. I think that's the best. We talked about trying to put in a sediment pond somewhere, but given the topography over there and all the houses and everything that's going on, there's really, the size you would need to make this work, it's not even feasible. So we're hoping that this is the most practical solution. So on your end, as far as what money outlay is going on, is basically after our, as far as maintenance, like you go in and yesterday they were in the grading the road and recrowning the road. That can be considered a match fund. It doesn't have to be installing these check dams and stuff like that. It can be, you've recrowned the road, you've graded the road, you've created some water runouts, you're cleaning whatever check dams you do have. Any of that stuff can be actually considered a match. And we have to match, whatever the grant fund is, we have to do a 40% match. We're hoping, or not hoping, Rock House is gonna be the brunt of this. They're gonna hopefully be the highest, way highest match in all this, because with their ongoing road issues up there, you know, that's what Conway's already done a fair amount. The biggest problem is everything Conway's done to this point, anything anyone's done to this point, can't be considered against the grant. It has
Right.
to start when the grant starts.
Right.
But you have an ongoing maintenance budget you're doing anyway, so if you did a $5,000 road grading thing, we could put that as a match towards this from your end. And if Madison is doing something on Town Line Road, that can be put in, and you know, it all adds up, and we probably have to think we're gonna